Hi, this is Asim,
This is Sujoy.
This is Amrita.
and you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast about the three main Khans of the Hindi film industry
Amir.
Salman.
And Shara.
Hi, you're listening to Khandaan, a Bollywood podcast regular feed. Thank you so much for your support over the years. We now have a Patreon channel with bonus content and exclusive merch for those of you who would like to support us. Every dollar goes towards creating more and better content. Visit us at patreon.com/Khandaan podcast.
Okay, so second part. Let's start here with our. Let's start with the worst of, maybe that would be a good idea. What were the pits? What were the horrible movies that, or even like not just the pits, but also movies that just disappointed you? Maybe you thought you had higher hopes of it, and then they were just not. They didn't deliver. So maybe we want to get into that. Pitu, we want to go first. What are your
Sure.
biggest disappointment or your worst top?
I was very disappointed in Vicky Vidya ka wo wala video.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
really
hear.
like Rajkumar Rao. I really like him, and I have mixed feelings about Tripti Dimri. I feel like when she's good, she's so good, and when she's not good, she's just kind of like there. Like I still absolutely love her performance in Bulbul. I really loved her in Laila Majnu as well. Although I will say Laila Majnu is an Avinash Tiwari movie. And I thought she was fine in Kala. I mean, she was decent in Kala. I just didn't like Kala, but that's not her fault. But then I saw her in Vicky Vidya, and I was like, "What are you doing? I don't understand what you're doing." Rajkumar Rao was irritating in this movie, and I'm almost never annoyed by him. It was just so silly and contrived, and the side characters were irritating. I did not find myself rooting for anyone. Honestly, the only good thing about Vicky Vidya was Vijay Raz, who was always amazing, and Malika Sherawat. She has such great screen presence. I had a big smile on my face every time she would come on screen in her like saris and her very chamak challo avatar, and watching the sort of very filmy masala song that Vijay Raz and Malika Sherawat do, that was like the high point of a terrible film. So I'm very glad that I did not see this movie in the theater, because I would have been very upset if I had.
I think Tripti Dimri is going to be the star.
Really?
Like, buy stock in Tripti Dimri. Like, I think the way, not only because she's, no, I'm sorry, not only because she has the animal Bhabi number 2 thing. Right? She has the right-wing incel push. She's already delivered like the critical acclaimed film nerd crowd with the kalas and the the early work that she did. Laila Majnu fandom. She has the rom-com thing, and the push she is getting from media, from fashion, from influencer, she's on every podcast. I think she is gonna just like blow up. Like, she's gonna leave everybody behind. I'm buying stock in Tripti Dimri for sure. Although not enough to either make me watch Bad News or the one you talked about with the. I haven't watched either of those, but I will. Any
I would
others
say
that were
she's-
kind of?
I would say she's very smart. I mean, she's doing all these different things, right? Like, I don't want to watch Bad News, but I think it was a strategic choice to do it. I mean, you're
Yeah.
getting a chance to star opposite Vicky Kaushal, and Good News was a hit, so like, why not? I mean, I think she's very smart,
Yeah.
and I also think she has no competition right now. So
And she did this interview. I don't know who she did the interview with, and I loved her response. She was like, she has a song in that movie where "Tadapna Padta Hai," something like that,
oh
and
God, yeah.
yeah, and it got like trolled about choreography. She looks horrible and stuff like that. And her reaction was like, "I'm trying. I'm new to
Yeah.
this, and I have to try these things. And it's okay to be bad at these things."
Yeah.
And I thought that was like such a refreshing way to deal with this. I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, yeah, lambi race ki ghodi hai. In your top worst or any other names that you want to mention, Pitu?
I was disappointed by Madgaon Express.
Ah.
So I really wanted to love it because I love the Hangover movies.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Madgaon Express needs to be as good as Hangover, but I think part of it was that I love Kunal Khemu. I love Go Go Gone. I like that whole stoner thing that he does. I like all the stoner movies that Hollywood makes as well. So I think this potentially could have been a problem of having very high expectations and those expectations not being met rather than the movie itself being bad. Because that cocaine scene with Pratik Gandhi, that was amazing. There was a
So good.
lot of stuff, and I love Avinash Tiwari because I've seen him in Khaki, the Bihar chapter, and of course Laila Majnu. So I'm team Kunal Khemu, I'm team Avinash Tiwari, and so I thought I would like it. And I don't know who that other actor's name is. Not It's not Pratik Gandhi, it's not Avinash Tiwari, it's the third guy. I thought he was hysterical.
Right.
Oh, the con man.
Yeah, but I don't know the actor's name, but I thought he actually did a really good job. And there was so much hype about this movie, and people were like, "Oh, if you like Go Go Gone, and if you like Kunal Khemu, and you like whatever, then you're gonna love this movie." So I was excited, and the premise is so good, right? These guys go on a trip to Goa, and then all these crazy things go happen, and then Kanchan Kobri. I thought it would be great, and I just was so disappointed by it. I was like, I would rather just watch Hangover for like the fifth time. So yeah,
The actor's
Divyandru
name, yeah.
Sharma. That's
ha,
the
he
name.
was
Divyendru, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Amrita, let's go to you.
Oh, I'm a hater from long back. Like everybody that listens to the podcast knows this about me. But this year I did very well in like
Hating.
protecting my peace. So
Okay.
anytime that I had even the slightest inkling that this was going to be a turkey, I was like, you know what? Let me not watch it.
Mhm.
Nice.
And that really helped me because I was making that list of like all the movies that I watched this year, and I was like, oh, I actually didn't watch that many terrible movies. Not because there weren't any terrible movies, but because I saved myself. I was my own knight in shining armor. I saved myself from like watching a whole bunch of things. I also want to give a shout out to my place of work for drowning me in more work than I could handle, and therefore I didn't have enough time or mental peace to be watching terrible movies. So good for me. But of the movies that I did watch, first of all, I would like to say that both Ulaj and Do Patti, which Asim just held up as testaments to feminism. Both of them were stupid AF. Like I literally sat in the theater watching Ulaj and was I just wanted to slap Janvi's character. This was like she was like the most stupid character that I have seen in like such a long time. Like the writing for this movie was so bad. It wasn't even Janvi's performance. Like Janvi was fine as an actor, but the writing for this movie was so stupid. My God, like it felt like it was mocking me and was like, "Nya nya nya, I got your money." Like that's how I felt. It felt like a mugging. That's how bad this movie was.
You
And
saw
then
this in theaters.
I watched this in the theater. There was like me and like three other
See,
people,
that's the
one of whom
problem,
was my
nah.
friend.
You go watch it over the streaming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sympathizing with you, Amrita, but it's very hard to sympathize with you when you tell me you paid money and took the trouble to go to a theater and sat in a seat
Well,
and watched the
that is
thing.
what I do for this podcast, and I don't think people like appreciate me enough for it. I
Please sign up to
demand a
Patreon so
sequel.
we can keep sending
Yes,
Amrita to watch movies like this.
yes, yes. Then also Do Patti was again a movie that just wanted to insult my intelligence because there is Kajol as Raja Babu, just going around being like, I am inspector, I am lawyer, I am mother, I am this, I am that. And I'm just like, I hate all of you. Um,
It's
and
it's hard to not take this personally, Amrita. I'm just saying.
Especially after I was nodding along with Asim, I was like, yeah, Kriti really blew me away. And Amrita is like, both of you are
ये
stupid.
ये ये लड़की कैमरे पे नहीं आती और फिर जूते मारती
I
है
know.
अंधे कैसे जूते मारती है
I can't, yeah, like no, I cannot, I absolutely cannot. Another movie that I really hated this year, and I'm
सुनो
sorry
और
to
सुनो
all
तुम
the
This was
मेरे
a shit. Srinath.
मेरे
नंबर
पास
वन मूवी
बहुत है.
नंबर वन मूवी अब सुन
We should get Amrita a shirt that says "I see stupid people."
I'm actually going to make a T-shirt that says that. But yeah, my apologies to all the Malayalam film bros who are going to get their panties in a twist over this. But I loathed R.B. Jeevitham, which was the Goat Life with Prithviraj. It was so shit, bro. Like I cannot begin to tell you. Again, this was the story of a very stupid person, right? Like, and I have some amount of sympathy for this person because he was like from a village, he didn't know what he was getting into. But for the love of God, do not go into a Middle Eastern country and then hand over your passport to the first Arab that you see. Like, no, nothing good can come out of that, you know? Like everything that happened after that, I was like, yeah, that's what I would expect would happen to you in like Saudi Arabia if you just like wandered out of the airport and was like, hey, are you my friend? Here's my passport. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen, bro.
Is this
Um,
the goat movie?
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. I
That's how
call
I
it
know
the
it. The
goat.
goat movie.
Yeah, I
Okay.
call it the goat fucking movie because apparently there was like a entire sequence that they left out of the movie where like he's having like special relations with a goat.
Oh.
And that goat is like his friend. Like that goat like shows him the way to escape and shit. Like, you know, that goat is into it. That goat
Oh,
is
so it's
like,
like
you are
Wilson in
my
Castaway.
yeah, kind of. Except with like 100% more slavery.
Oh
But
God.
it just went on forever. Like it just like literally went on forever and ever and ever. And I was like, I don't know when this movie is going to end. The other movie that I really thought was stupid, again, like all of these movies are just stupid. Like that's my problem with all of these movies. And the fourth movie that I want, and I'm going to stop at the number four because, like, you know what? The list is long. But the fourth movie that I thought was really stupid was Fighter. It was so bad that we were sitting in the theater, and I went there with like a couple of my friends, and it was like a very female heavy audience because everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be Ritik," and then everybody was so bored. My friend that was sitting next to me was literally predicting every single dialogue that was coming out of like various characters. Like she would literally be like, now they will say blah blah blah, and then like Ritik would be like blah blah blah, and I would be like, oh my god, it was so bad. It was so bad. Yeah, and then again, this was one of those movies where the like nobody is will. I think I will give Amir credit for this one thing. When he ate it with Lal Singh Chadda, he was able to own up to it. He was like, you know what? Yeah, I made a movie that didn't connect with the audience. My bad. And that is a really rare quality. I feel like Shah Rukh and Amir are maybe like the two people who can still say that. Everyone else is like, no, 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 like that's not true. Because what Sid Anand said after Fighter, like
yeah
bit it, was like people in India don't fly planes, so they saw a plane movie and they were like, "Ye kya hai?" I am like, bro, like what are you even talking about? So yeah, this was my litany of hate towards the stupid movies that came out this year.
Professional hater Amrita.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone watch Pushpa to the Rise, by the way? Because
oh I'm
I feel
coming to
like,
that I'm coming to that
okay, okay. Because I really want to watch it.
Mm,
Not
I
bury
asked
the
our
lead.
Filmy Ladies subscribers if I should go watch it. I crowdsourced their opinion.
Hmm.
mm.
Sujoy, man, let's get into it. Warsaw.
Yeah, so Amrita has already mentioned Fighter. It's one of my hated movies of the year. I really expected Ritik to do well, and he just double dunked on all the Islamophobia and all the jingoism. And I also expected more better from Siddharth Anand. And yeah, this was a shit show.
Deepika. Add Deepika to the list.
I don't know. Deepika has done
You don't
Singham
expect
now.
better from her.
No, I mean she married Ranveer Singh and she's doing Singham. So
There's
Singham
a
is also there as one of the movies, but I expected low of Singham. and I got that, and that's fine by me. Um, I expected. I don't know what I expected, but I wanted Bade Mia Chote Mia to do well. And Akshay, like in action comedy kind of zone, being the straight guy to Tiger doing a bit of the buddy comedy, I thought that would be some sort of a good movie, and it was so terrible on so many levels. Like they literally burnt money making that movie. It's so bad. It's so bad. And finally, my most hate of the year goes to Pushpa 2. It's like literally, I don't know, 1,400 crores or something, the revenue that it has made this year. And this movie is so incoherent. Like it has set pieces which has mini stories but nothing to link between them. It's like a really bad trip of a movie. It's like somebody thought of these set pieces and they wanted to make movies around it, but it really does not connect. Like in the beginning there is a whole fight scene against the yakuza at like a Yokohama port, like Pushpa's intro sequence, and then they completely forget about it, and it's never sort of addressed. And then it like reoccurs, like, and then the songs of this movie are terrible. Like the songs of the first Pushpa were so much memorable, and it's like a rehash, but it making it worse. I did not like anything about this movie.
Is it as incoherent, for example, as Salar or KGF 2?
It's pretty much like that. It's pretty much that vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Pito, I really, even until 2 days ago, I was considering going to Pushpa 2. Like, I was like, it's still in theaters. I can still find some time. Maybe I should go. And I don't know, I was just being lazy because I was just like done with it, had no energy. But I was like really, really close to going.
Like
So, yeah.
the
Who
first
knows?
part ends with the whole hype around, oh, these equals,
Yeah.
Alu Arjun versus Fahad Fasiq. So these equals sort of, one is a really corrupt cop who will go, all guns blazing to make this character suffer, and then there is the badass hero, and that sort of fizzles out in the second part so badly. It's just terrible.
Hmm.
So yeah, and
Yeah.
then there is a third part in the making as well. So
वो
yeah,
कितने बनाने वाले हैं?
I don't know, 50,000.
I
They
don't,
made so
I
much
don't,
money. What do you.
Yeah.
well, but I don't know if I don't know. Like, I guess we need to see how this is gonna play out. But it does seem like Alu Arjun is going to be charged for criminally negligent murder
That's
for
crazy, though.
the
The
apparently.
Stampede.
So I thought, yeah, like at first I was like, that's crazy, like that he would get personally charged for the
Mhm.
stampede that killed this woman and her child. But apparently the story that is now emerging is that he informed the police that they were going to go to that particular theater, and the police said, please don't come because we can't guarantee crowd control because this
Hmm.
is really difficult to do that. And he came there anyway.
Hmm.
And then when the stampede happened, they told him, listen, there's been a stampede, people are seriously injured, you should leave. And he didn't, and he stayed there until the end of the movie, and he was like very much like a part of, and there's like video evidence of him being there. And then when he left the theater again, like he was like interacting with his fans, he was like waving to the crowd, etc., which led to like even more crowds and everything. So it was entirely like really unsafe. And what's been like really gross about this entire thing is that, we've been hearing about like how much money and how many crores of rupees are being made by this
Hmm.
movie in the past few weeks. But today I just saw a tweet by somebody, I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody from the Telugu film industry who was saying that Allu Arjun is such a great man for giving money to the families that were affected. And there's basically like three families, and each of them got like 2 lakhs each. That's like
Hmm.
200,000 like rupees, which is like a little over like $2,000 each person.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, that is just gross. That is just,
That's the
that's
cost of a
just,
human life in India.
I mean, he spends more money on like, his
Sneakers.
cars, or like, yeah, his sneakers, his clothes, like a pair of shades,
Hmm.
a watch that he wants to buy. Like, it's just so horrendous. Yeah, it's made me rethink how I feel about Allu Arjun going forward. And that's sad because I really did enjoy Allu Arjun. Like, I've spoken about this before, that I really did enjoy watching him, and I really thought he was a big star, etc. But the way this entire thing has
Hmm.
unfolded, that's just really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Hmm. Yeah. I have a terrible joke. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep it at.
हो
Let's
जाएगा
not.
cancel भैया हो जाएगा
Yeah.
cancel.
Even I'm like, nahi, aaj nahi, aaj nahi. Okay. My worst or disappointing is Murder Mubarak.
Oh yeah.
A
Okay.
movie again with Sara Ali Khan that I don't know. I thought, isn't it Homie? Is it the Homie Ajani movie, or who directed
Mm-hmm.
somebody like that?
Uh-huh.
I thought I had hope. Yeah, I thought it could be an interesting look into the rich and famous lives and things like that, but didn't work at all for me. Although I thought Sara Ali Khan was capable. I just the twist and the reveal was all pretty much nonsense.
Was
That
that
movie,
this year?
I think it was, yeah, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Am I
It was.
mistaken again? Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's been a long
Because
year, Amrita.
yeah, Uh, biggest disappointment was Bade Miyan Chote Miyan. I like you, Sujoy. I had hopes in Ali Abbas Zafar making like a big scale action movie with Tiger. And the thing is, Tiger works well with like a senior actor. We've seen it with
Yeah.
War, and that's what I was hoping they could recreate, and they were incapable of doing that, unfortunately. And but on the other hand, it's good that the Bhagnanis lost money, which we should all applaud, right? So, but it's then horrible that they ended up keeping the money and not paying any of their staff and
Yeah.
gaffers and light boys and stuff like that. So, I hope nothing but the worst for them. Yudra, another movie that it's Yudra, right? It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched it together.
We watched it together, but I want to say, because you had Kill on your list, right? And
Yeah.
Yudra and Kill should be kind of neck and neck in the way what they're trying to do. And it's like a very good explanation of how to do something well and how to do something terribly. And Yudra is that counterpoint to Kill.
Yeah.
Like, it is exactly the same thing, but it's exactly terrible. And this coming from Excel as a team, also I like the actors in it. There's a lot of elements that I was like, I had hopes this could be fun. It was not. It's not fun. It's not a good movie, and that's why it just landed as a thunk on streaming, and literally nobody's talking about it or rediscovering that, oh, we should have reappreciated the movie because it's terrible and shit. A Fighter, a movie that I have not seen, but I've still put on my list. The only good thing about Fighter is that it made my tweet go viral in Pakistan, and then people in Pakistan were telling me, "Asim, tu Twitter pe kya kar raha hai?" So that was good about The Fighter. I was gonna put Singham again here, but actually Singham again, came in with such low expectation. It gave me slightly more than I expected, so I can't necessarily put Singham again on here. Kalki is going on the worst movies of the year for sure. A movie that absolutely didn't work for me, and I'm going to have to sit again through the second part when it comes out. I'm not looking forward to it. Again, Deepika, I don't know what choices she's making at the moment, but yeah, her stock has definitely, dropped a little bit this year. Although, happy motherhood, and I wish her all the best with that. I was like, every year I try to catch up on the movies that I thought m- that I didn't I missed during the year. I thought maybe they might come in my top 10, but I have been keeping my policy like Amrita, avoiding movies that I won't like, so which is a good policy. So, but I did watch two, and they are actually landing on my worst off list, which is Chandu Champion and Khel Khel Mein. Uh, I don't know. I feel I want to talk longer about it. Both of these movies. Maybe I'll do a reel if I get a chance on them, because they're utter failures in the genre that they're trying to create. Right, a sports biopic, um, with Kabir Khan. Like Kabir Khan is making this movie, right? And it has all of the worst um, tendencies that Kabir Khan has, which Tubelight is a better movie to me than Chandu Champion
Oh
is,
wow.
because it has a star that can lead a movie. Which Chandu Champion, like, and there was no moment where any of the emotions Kartik Aaryan was giving seemed genuine to me.
Hmm.
Nothing worked. His old age makeup didn't work. His disability didn't work. His passion to win didn't work. His nationalism didn't work. His wanting to win a championship just because he saw a girl somewhere, like none of it makes sense. And then we forget about the girl. He gets married, he gets a son. We never see who he gets married to, because women are apparently not important in the story. It was terrible, Chandu Champion. Suja, you
I
wanted to say something?
I literally lasted like 5-10 minutes until that, when he's in the police station and Shreyas Talpade is there, and the whole pitch of that scene
Yeah,
is just like a skit, and it doesn't feel like a Kabir Khan movie. Like it was so terribly acted, and that whole hair, his youth hair, the wig. Those are proper, like, really bad choices to make, man.
yeah,
And they literally, like, I can't believe, like, actual movie making professionals saw that and they were like, this is fine to be, showcased as cinema.
yeah.
It's really bad.
And there's a song where they're dancing in the train,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Batti Bujake or something like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
And clearly that has echoes of
Galti se
Havan
mistake.
Karenge from Bhag Milka Bhag, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
And then also from Jagga Jasoos, the song
Yeah.
where they're, which is the song again?
Galti se mistake.
Yeah, it has echoes both of those, and
Hmm.
it's so shit. It
Yeah.
is so shit. It is so bad. It just annoys the crap out of me. So that's there. And then Khel Khel Mein, a movie that absolutely, like, this is what Akshay should be doing, smaller movies in a and it's one of my favorite thing is bottle episodes in TV where they shoot
Hmm.
everything in one room,
Hmm.
like a community episode or something like that, where they're playing with the dice and stuff like that. I love those episodes. There's this episode in Breaking Bad where they're just locked into
The
the
Fly
uh,
episode.
yeah, exactly. I love those episodes, and I thought that's what Kill May would have been doing. But it's about a story about six friends, and none of these people are friends. Like they have no chemistry together as friends, and it's just horrible. I don't know why. And it's a movie that's been. I think this movie, the original, is an Italian movie, and it has the world record of the movie that's being remade in the most languages. It has like 18 or 37 versions of the same
Wow.
movie, but
Somewhere
they
between 18 and 37.
something like, yeah, it's I saw the fact on Wikipedia. I didn't
What a
count it,
range.
yeah. But the fact that they decided, a movie that's been made so many times, to like, oh, we need to add a comedic pitch of a houseful movie in this, is
Yeah.
so absurd. And it's such a mistake of the director. I think he's not Mudassar Aziz. um it's so bad. And Fardeen Khan comes in here as he's like some superstar we've been waiting for. Oh my god, Fardeen Khan kahan tha? But nobody gives a shit. Like, guys, I want to reveal this, because has anybody seen Kill Kill Man?
Yeah, I have. I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. So I'm gonna slight spoiler. Fardeen Khan is playing an in-closet a gay character, and it's a big reveal that who he is gay. Amrita, Amrita. Fardeen's character has tattoos on his fist that says "Free Love."
Oh my God.
Yeah, just wanted to add that about how terrible this movie is. So that's on here. Okay,
I recently
before,
discovered there's
Hmm?
a very active Fardeen Khan fan club on Instagram, just so you
Is
know.
there?
Yes. They
Is it
make
Mem-
reels
actual
and all.
people or Chinese
Yeah.
bots?
They
Like
make
this?
reels and all. I've seen some
Member
of
and
their
founder
reels.
Pitu Sultan.
No, they,
uh,
they wrote nice comments when we had done like an episode on like Feroz Khan. That's how I discovered them. And then I went to their page and they have like good reels and all. They're very like, our king, Fardeen Khan. I was like, wow, okay.
wow.
Ah, what kingdom is that?
Also, recently someone got mad at us on our podcast because they were upset that we did not make an episode on Rati Agnihotri
Oh,
as a superstar. I was like, okay.
For
what is?
literally one movie. One movie. Uh,
Sujoy, you wanted to talk about some non-Hindi movies.
yeah.
Are there any of the best or the worst or anything that you want to mention there?
Mostly the best, because I don't think I watched any worse, like
Mm-hmm.
bad ones. I would like to specially mention two Malayalam movies, Malarkottai Valivan, which we probably also talked on the podcast before, and Brahma Yugam. One is a Mohanlal movie. It's an epic movie, like beautifully shot. It's one of the most beautiful movies of the year that I've watched this year. I don't think it worked for as many people, but I found it absolutely fascinating. This movie is cinematic as hell. It's told like a fable of this like sort of a legendary badass character played by Mohanlal. And the other one is Brahma Yugam, starring Mammootty, in this black and white period horror movies set in a very um, what do you call a haunting mahal, where sense of time and space goes haywire and shit
Mm.
happens. I think we've also talked about Brahma Yugam on the podcast.
Amrita
Um,
raved about it, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And finally, a Tamil movie called Vadai, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, about workers at a banana plantation and the tragedy that they meet. It's also another beautifully shot movie, but absolutely heartbreaking when the climax hits. Yeah.
Mm. Pitu, any non-Hindi movies that you watched or you want to kind of like shout out?
No, I watched a few movies, but the thing is, I don't remember if they're 2024 movies or 2023, so I'll refrain. But I'm very interested in watching this Brahma Yugam, because the minute he said haunted and
Horror.
horror and action, I was like, "Wait, you just said all my favorite words." So I'll
Yeah.
give that one a
And
view.
like Mammootty is so good in it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go first, and then I'm gonna go to Amrita because she might, say the same names that I'm gonna say. And Amrita, I will need your help in pronouncing these names because I'm not gonna be able to do it. May Aragan, that's the one I wanted to mention. The Bicycle Village story. It's on Netflix now at the moment
With Arvind Swamy.
with Arvind Swamy and
Oh,
Karthi. I think his name is
yeah. I
the
still
other
haven't
actor.
watched it.
Guys, watch it. Like,
Yeah.
it's the perfect time to watch this movie because you're
Yeah.
just sitting at home, it's raining, you're not going to go
Oh.
out anywhere, right? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie about, and again, did I talk about it or not? I think I
No, I
did.
don't.
No, we haven't recorded in a while. I think I
No.
did a reel maybe about it. It speaks to me because I have trauma of going back to the place where I grew up on,
Mhm.
and going back to that place brings a lot of like phantoms from before, things that have been said that have been unsaid, and like things that you cannot let go of the past. But it also makes you makes you the person that you are, and those kind of stories really appealed to me in this. And also just the fact that what you think of yourself and what effect you have on others is something that you not do not always understand. And
Yeah.
I think those are just like beautiful themes, and I thought that was amazing that this movie did this. It's highly recommended. Want to shout out Avisham, Fat Fasil. We mentioned him earlier. Like, it's such a cool movie. He's such a
Yeah.
cool dude. And like, when we're talking about like hangover movies, I think this maybe comes close to that in a certain way, but in like a very kind of crazy kind of way. I want to mention Captain Miller, which I really enjoyed. People didn't seem to like that movie, but I really liked it. Had this almost Mad Max kind of aesthetic to it, which I really enjoyed. It is a bit long in the tooth, and it takes too long. Like, it doesn't get to the point quickly enough. But I wanted to point that one out. And this one, I'm hopeless. So Amrita, maybe you can help me. This is that. Is it Tovino Thomas
Mm-hmm.
movie?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can't.
Unleashipin Kandittum.
Yeah, that one. I really like, when I was making the list of the year, that I really like Tovino, man. I really like his movies. I look forward to them. And this was one that, again, like a cop kind of movie, which we've seen so many times, and it does have a bit of propaganda. That's okay. It's nowhere near Singham again or something like that, but it's on streaming. You can watch it at home, and it's really really good. So whatever Amrita
And
says,
it's two stories in one.
yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Amrita, have I mentioned all of yours, or is there any others that you maybe wanted to add?
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of the ones that that I was going to talk about, like Anveshapin Kanditum, like that was like definitely something that I think, if you like police procedurals, if that's like a genre that you like, and I love that genre, then that's like Malayalam movies, for whatever the reason, they've been churning out banger after banger in that genre over the past few years.
The one with
Um,
Mamuti was also really good, right? That was also kind of a
which one,
procedural.
Unda?
The one where he's a cop. I think we watched it this year also. I'll try to find the name.
Okay. There's been like a bunch with like Mammootty as well. One of them is like a sequel to uh this series that he's been doing since the 90s, I believe, where he's playing like this CID officer. And he also did this very interesting movie called Unda, which means bullet, where he is leading this group of Malayali policemen to, I think, Bihar, if I'm not mistaken. And they are completely out of their depth, and they don't know how to like deal with this completely different culture, and they're just ill equipped and ill trained, and they didn't realize that until they were in the forest trying to fight all these people. And that's not from this year, but like I'm just saying that Mammootty's done like really amazing ones. Anyway, for this year, uh, one of the movies that I really loved is the one that Sujoy was talking about, which is Malaikote Valiban, which was it's by Lijo Jose Pellicheri. It stars Mohanlal, and I love it so much. Like, I really loved it. I know that it's not for everybody and it flopped, and like Mohanlal devotees have been like really mad about it, but I loved it. The visual language of that movie was just fantastic. It was just really great.
That
Um,
was a really good one. Mhm.
then Brahma Yugam, again, as Sujoy said, Pitu, I think that you'd really love it. It's just menacing, and it is a movie that really stayed with me. And I watched it without subtitles, and two friends who were like, one was American, the other was British, and they watched it without subtitles with me. And we all had like so much to talk about, and like it didn't matter. Like, even though they couldn't understand what was being said on screen, they could like really understand like what the story was. Like, it was just so well made. um, Avesham, as Asim said, like that was so much fun. Avesham and Manumal Boys, like both of those were so much fun this year. And I just had like so much fun at the movies, and they were like very like, again, like Madgaon Express. These were just very like boy movies, but they were just really well made, fun boy movies, and they were just really funny. And not Manuel Boys, but Manuel Boys was like really edge of the seat stuff. But Avesham was like super funny.
Yeah,
Um,
Manjumal Boys. I wanted to still watch. I haven't had a chance
Yeah,
yet.
I still haven't watched it either.
it's really good. And also there was another police procedural. It's not really a police procedural as such, but it's a Malayalam movie called Kishkinda Kandam, and it came out I don't know, like maybe a month or two ago, and that was a huge surprise for me as well, and it was really well made, and I really recommend it to whoever wants to watch it. And of course, I want to talk about All We Imagine as Light. This is a movie that I don't know. When I watched it in the theaters, I was like, do I really like it or not? Like, there was a lot about it that seemed a little too familiar um, in terms of like how it was constructed, right? Like, I spent a whole bunch of years of my life watching a lot of art cinema, and this seemed like really familiar. It just seemed like something like somebody who would be into film school would make. But then in the weeks and months after I watched it, I've gone back to this movie so many times. There's been so much for me to think about, the choices that it makes, the music, the way it's constructed, the way the stories play out. And it's also been a real education for me to see people's reactions to this movie. And it really tells you where film is in India, because there's like so many people who are just sort of like trying to understand that there's like an element of magical realism in this film, and that really confused them. The pacing of the film really confused them. The fact that there is like absolutely no male gaze in this film is that's really confusing to them. Like all of these things are so interesting, and it gives you so much to think about when you watch this film. So these are the films outside. I also have watched like some Tamil and some Telugu movies, but like I don't think there's anything that's like really stood out for me. There's a couple of Tamil movies that I think will make this list when I watch them, but I haven't gotten around to it as yet.
The Mammootty movie is Kanur Squad, by the way, the one that I
Kanju
was
Squad,
thinking of.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I really liked. Okay, let's get to the preview of 2025. Let's go over the movies that are coming out next year that we're maybe looking forward to, that we can kind of go. We'll just go over the. I have to say, two things. We don't know which movies are coming out next year. It's never like properly announced. We have just some ideas. And the ones that are on this Wikipedia list, there is 100% no guarantee that these will actually get released. And this is a problem we have every year. We talk about movies that we think are going to come out and then they don't come out. But that's just the way, Indian cinema works. We can't do anything about it. So let's go over the list here. In January, we have, and at the end, we're going to try to do our predictions of what will be the biggest hit and what will be the biggest flop. So in January, we have Fateh by Sonu Sood, Santosh, Emergency, Kangana Ranaut's movie, Azad, starring Aman Devgan, Mission Grey House, Lahore 1947. There's no way this is coming out. Sunny Deol's movie, Deva, which is Shahid Kapoor's movie with Roshan Andrews, and Skyforce. So these are the ones that are in January.
I think
Um,
Lahore 1947 already got released, like in the UK or something. If I'm like
no,
I'm
What?
blanking
What?
on it.
no. I think you're
No,
confusing with
Santosh
them.
No.
maybe. You're talking about
Santosh has,
Santosh.
yeah.
Yeah, Santosh is released, but I don't know. I'm maybe hallucinating.
No. It's too big to get a release in the UK first. So it's not. Any thoughts about those names? I think,
Mm,
Sunny Deol movie with Amir Khan. How excited are you, Pitu? This is your
not.
what?
It's going to be so lame. I don't want to watch it. I watch old Sunny Deol movies. I do not watch new Sunny Deol movies.
Fake fan.
I made the mistake of watching Gadar 2. I only did it because Beth forced me to, because we were doing an episode where she said we have to watch the latest release of our favorite people. So I had to watch it. I had no other choice. And she watched, what is Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway or something, which she loves
Hmm.
money. And both of us roundly like regretted our choices. So I love old Sunny Deol films. I would revisit those, but I'm not going to watch this one. Sounds lame.
I'm excited. Rajkumar Santoshi with Amir and Sunny. Preeti Zinta is in there too. I'm kind of really very excited for this one. I hope it's good. I hope this is not too much Pakistan bashing too. Let's see. I don't think anything else stands out here, right? Then we have in February we have a untitled Junaid Khan movie with Advait Chandan.
Is that
We
the
have
one with Sai Pallavi?
This
uh,
is with Kushi Kapoor.
Khushi Kapoor. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
As
He
unsai Pallavi as it could get.
Advait, he made Secret Superstar before, so there's
Oh, okay.
some thing there. We have Chava with Vicky Kaushal. I think the teasers have come out for that one already.
Yeah, it was supposed to release this year, but it got pushed back.
Yeah. Then we have Sanki, Ahan Shetty's new movie with Pooja Hegde. Nakhre Wali. I don't know what this is. Karan Singh Tyagi, Akshay Kumar movie with R. Madhavan, Ananya Pandey, produced by Dharma and
Dharma.
Cape of Good Films. Okay, yeah. Anything stand out? Chava probably. Have you seen the trailer for that, Pitu? No,
Just no. I
no.
not really. I don't. None of these January movies are appealing to me.
Yeah. I like Vicky. I like Vicky Kaushal. I think he does good stuff, but I'm worried about these jingorical historical movies that they make. So, and it seems they need to absorb everybody in this shitty universe of it's so propagandist. Like
Yeah.
it's such a mess. And I think that's one of the problems I even had with Chandu Champion to a certain degree, where it's just like the whole point is to just be about patriotism and nationalism, right? And there's no storytelling behind it. But I know that Vicky Kaushal will give it 100% here. Otherwise, he gets his ass kicked by Katrina, which can be a kink for certain. But chalo. Then we have April, May, and June. We have Sikandar,
Which
A.R.
is 100%
Murgudod.
not happening.
You don't think so?
No, 100% not coming out in April. I'm pretty much
यार
sure.
मेरी बर्थडे है दे दो कोई गिफ्ट लाइक been waiting here for something decent. Then we have Jolly LLB 3 with Akshay and Arshad Varsi.
Yeah.
Sunny Sanskari ki Tulsi Kumari, A plus name. Varun Dhawan obviously with Janvi Kapoor.
I
Sanya
want to watch
Malhotra.
that actually. I want to watch that one.
Yeah, this looks
Is
fun,
this
na?
going to be
Shashank Ketan.
the anti Rocky Rani? I think by the name it
Why
sounds like
auntie?
it. Like not the richest. It's going to be like small
Garibon
town.
Small
wala.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, this looks interesting though, and Shashank has done some good work, right? So I think
Yeah.
this could be good. And
Is
poor
he the one
Varun,
who
man.
did Humpty Sharma and Badrinath movies?
Yeah. And Varun is going all out, man, to promote his movies. He's dancing on everything, like with Baby John. It's interesting. Jat with the helicopter fan thing that he's holding. Pitu,
No.
your man, not delivering, huh? He's fully into this, like this
It's
new
all
Gadar
like
2
this
kind.
weirdly roid rage stuff that is happening, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, stop
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Soft Sunny is gone completely.
I want soft sunny
Um,
back.
Yeah. Raid 2. Did any of us watch Raid 1?
No,
It
I
was
still haven't.
good. Raid 1 was not bad, to be honest. And Houseful 5, which I don't
My
know if that's
God.
ever happening. Then this is all. There's no way War 2 is happening in July,
No.
in August. That's just not possible. Delhi Files, the new Vivek Agnihotri movie with
Ugh.
Naya bigot Mithun Chakraborty.
Yeah.
Mithun just woke up and now I want to be a bigot apparently. Like, what the hell was that going on, And Baghi 4. Those posters have released, and the amount of effort put in these Sajid Nadiadwala, Tiger Shroff movies, it's definitely going to come out this year for sure.
Yeah.
Then I have Thama,
Yes.
Ayushman Khurrana.
I'm
What is
excited
this?
about that one because
What
that's
is this?
Maddox Films, and it's about vampires and yeah.
He's entering the horror universe.
So Aditya Sarpadar is also the one who made Munja.
Oh,
So he's
okay.
already done that in the Maddox thing, and I like Nawazuddin Siddiqui, so I'm excited about that. Ayushman Khurrana, I have
We
mixed
haven't
feelings
seen
about.
a good Nawaz movie in a while, right?
Mm. But also, we haven't watched any Nawaz movies in a
Yeah.
while, so we don't know if he's actually good in them or not. Now,
Yeah.
then it says De De Pyar De 2. I don't know why this movie deserves a 2, but chalo. 120 Bahadur with Farhan Akhtar. I don't want to watch any Farhan Akhtar movies anymore. I
No.
think I'm done. Ho gaya. Vishal Bhardwaj coming out with a new movie with Shahid
That I'll
Kapoor and
watch.
that Tripti Dimri,
Yep.
our girl,
Okay, wow.
Randeep Hura, Nana Patekar,
Tripti
and then
Dimri is doing all the things.
yeah, I'm telling you, buy stocks in Tripti. This is when Bitcoin was at like $20. Buy it now. Alpha, Alia Bhatt, Sharvari, Anil Kapoor, Bobby Deol, Yash Raj movie. This is on December. No excitement for the new spy movie?
No.
Oh.
And the other ones that I also saw here were written Yeah.
I'm
No,
excited
this
for
will be fun.
Kantara 1. They're making the prequel to Kantara. So that's that's
Oh,
Kannada, I guess. So I loved
right.
Kantara. I saw it in the theater, it was amazing. And I was very excited that they're making. So I'll probably watch Kantara 1 in the theater, and hopefully it'll be good.
He's also turned out to be a bit of an asshole, that actor, no? If he's made some like statements and stuff like that, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing him with somebody else. Amrita, any of those names stand out for you? Anything that you're interested in watching? Or is it going
No.
to be as shit of a year next year as it is this year?
I think
Yes.
it's going to be
Yes,
as
it
bad
is.
as this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sitare Zameen Pe should be coming out too, right? Like the Amir one?
Like I said.
Let the hating start. Um,
Yes.
If War 2
And
does come out, then I'm definitely looking forward to that.
let's do our preview. Let's do our predictions then. Let's to wrap up the episode then.
Mhm.
Out of all of these, which are going to be the biggest hit? We're not talking about the ones you're going to be enjoying. Which are the one you think are going to be the biggest hit? And again, we don't know any South Indian movies. It's not on the list, so it might be Pushpa 2 and whatever. Those are the biggest hit, but we don't have any access to them. But shall I repeat? Or I'll play the clip in the recording, but shall I tell you what you predicted last year,
Mhm.
guys?
Yeah.
So Pitu, you don't know, but like this is what they predicted last year. It was Sujoy predicted Chamkila and Pushpa 2 to be his favorite
No.
movies, or like the biggest hits. No, he said there is not going to be a biggest hit because all these movies are shit after he saw the calendar. And then he said, I will like Chamkila and Pushpa 2 the most. So you got a 50-50 hit rate there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, Amrita said Pushpa 2 and Fighter. So Fighter is actually on the top 10 of the most earners. So Hate sells. And then I predicted Bhool Bhulaiya 3 and Pushpa 2, which I hit at the bullseye as I usually do because I'm Nostradamus on these things. So let's start. What are our predictions? Which is going to be the maybe say 2? You want to go first or last, Pitu? What do you think?
I'll go last because I'm still
Yeah.
thinking.
So Joy, what is your prediction going to be for next year?
Oh, I think Houseful and War 2.
What if these come out,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Houseful? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. Because people
Okay.
need that. Like, it's got everybody in the film industry. It's got
Everybody in the movie needs it, I would
yeah.
say.
It's got Akshay Kumar, Ritesh Deshmukh, Sanjay Dutt, Abhishek Bachchan, Nana Patekar, Fardeen Khan, Dino Moria, Chunky Pandey, Jackie Shroff, Shreyas Talpade, Ranjit, Johnny Lever, Jacqueline Fernandez, Nargis Fakhri,
Oh my
Chitrangada Singh, and
god.
Saundarya Sharma.
That's crazy.
The
That's
Yeah,
Fardeen Khan
crazy.
fan club will be happy.
absolutely.
Which one do you think you like the most?
Oh, I don't know. None of them.
Amrita, what do you think? What is going to be the biggest hit next year?
well, what is coming out next year though? It's like War 2, Ramayana, um
Oh, Ramayan, yeah, it's
But
not
it's
on
not in the
the
yeah.
wiki. We
yeah,
think it'll
it's
come
not on the
out.
Yeah.
wiki.
It says that Ramayana I don't know about the wiki, but like everyone's been talking about how part one is coming out in like towards the end
Okay.
of next year.
Hmm.
So I know like that's coming out. And then is it Houseful or is it Welcome that has like everybody in it?
Houseful.
It's Houseful.
Welcome
Okay.
also had, no? But I don't know if Welcome is even going through. I don't think they
Yeah, they
announced it and
had
then they
released
didn't get to.
like a teaser called Welcome to the Jungle or something, right? With everybody in
Yeah.
it. There was Daler
Yeah.
Mehndi as well in it.
I
And
think
then, yeah.
Geo pulled out of the financing or something.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, something like that
सोचो
happened. Yeah.
अंबानी के पास पैसा नहीं है
um, I think if War 2 comes out, then it's going to be at least a decent, like it's going to be like a top 10 movie, at least.
Hmm.
Um, what else is there?
Isn't there like the Mani Ratnam movie Thug Life or something that's coming out as well?
Yeah, but that's like a whole different thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking about like just the Hindi stuff. Um, I think Ramayan will work.
Hmm.
I think like, you know, like it will be able to sort of plug into the current state
Yeah.
of everything. I
And
think
I
that
thought
will work.
I think also just the talent involved in it. Like I'm
Yeah,
excited for the Ramayana. Like I want to watch this movie. Like Ranbir is in there. Sai
yeah.
Palwari is in there. Like good director. I'm excited for that movie. So I want to watch it. So yeah, that's one on my list. If it comes out, it's not on the Wikipedia, but I think if that comes out, then it's gonna be there. Then the other two, I'm gonna say, man, I think Lahore might have legs. Like if they can, like if Rajkumar Santoshi has his shit together and Amir can pull him in the right direction, I think this might be something to
Hmm.
watch. And then this is really me hoping, but there's no proof of this. But Sikandar, if man, I just hope that Salman is excited again to be working with somebody and that the project comes together and Murga Dost can deliver something that he did with Gajani. It's been a long time. He hasn't done anything good since then, really. There was a clip with the Varun. Baby John. Salman has a cameo in Baby John, huh? And the director is Atlee. And Varun's saying, like we went to meet Salman to ask for the cameo if he wanted to come on. So he went with Atlee, and Salman is sitting there, and Salman goes, "Oh, Atlee, Bruce Lee ka bhai." And I was like, man, I miss this. This is what I want in Sikandar. Also, Sikandar adding this on this, but it's wishful thinking for sure. Pitu, predictions after we've
Um,
done all that.
I agree with Sujo and Amrita. I think War 2 and I think Houseful will probably be hits. And if Ramayana comes out, that could be a hit as well.
Hmm.
I would be interested in watching Ramayana mostly because I want to see Sai Pallavi and Ranbir Kapoor. I think that's a good combo. Ranbir, I feel like he's always good, even if the movie he's in is rubbish.
Yeah.
So I think he'll still do a good job. And I'm just curious to see that pairing just because it's so novel and interesting. But the movie I think I'll probably like the best is whatever Vishal Bharadwaj does because I like mostly everything he does. And I am excited about Thama. Give me a good horror comedy. I'm happy. But that's it. I think those are the only three I'm interested in.
Good. I think also Alpha, if it comes out, could be fun. Just because Yashraj will give it a good push, that kind of thing. But if it's coming out late the year, it's not gonna, be the biggest hit anymore. Like the same thing we're having with the Baby John. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode. I think we talked a lot. I think sab thak gaye. So yeah, P2, where can people find you online?
They can find me on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, where Beth and I co-host Filmy Ladies. And we have an episode every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, so they can catch us there. I am anti-social media, so they can't catch me anywhere else unless they follow me on Instagram, which if they're not friend or family, they're not. So see, all of this nonsense that you people have to go through on Twitter and all, mere paas hai hi nahi. That is my superpower. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Blue Sky. Life is great when you don't have social media. I literally only respond to YouTube comments on Filmy Ladies. That's it.
The non-toxic platform, which is YouTube comments.
Well, yeah, but we're not famous enough to get the toxic comments.
Yeah.
Occasionally, we'll get like a random comment with them, like, why do you have beef with like Katrina or whatever? And I'm like, ye kaisa sawal hai? How much time do I have to answer this like long exposition you want?
Sujoy, where can people find you online?
You cannot find me online anymore.
We've
But
all
yeah, I'm
fled.
still, yeah, I'm kind of sort of online on Instagram and Twitter and Blue Sky at 93K. I have abandoned TikTok for the time being, but you can also follow Khandaan Podcast on all our socials at Khandaan Podcast.
Amrita?
You can find me on well, you can still find me on Twitter, but you can mostly find me on Blue Sky at Amrita IQ.
Yes, I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTokish. I'm going to be starting actually a new channel on TikTok, which is my business TikTok channel, which is going to be fun. I've created like a new podcast for that. My company is called Culture Canvas. So if you want to see business Asim, that's going to be fun. I'm going to be plugging it more throughout the year. It's a really, really fun episode. We recorded two. It's going to come out in January. So apparently also I'm on LinkedIn. If you want to find me on LinkedIn, that's another way to find me.
Damn.
Yeah, so content ki machine Asim Bernie. But I think honestly the best way to reach us is Patreon. It's a thriving community. It's really going, I really enjoy Patreon more and more. Like it's like closed off. There's no toxicity. People like us, we like them, and we like movies. It's these three things, and I think that's what we always wanted to create. And I really want to give a shout out and a thanks again to our Patreon members. This is what still kind of keep us going, because there is no praise anymore on any other platform. It's just the people on Patreon that still like us. So thank you again for Patreon for supporting the work for another year, and I hope you keep joining us and contributing next year. And big things are coming. Also, I think we did a lot on Patreon this year. We did a lot of like video essays. Amrita did a lot of 5-minute catch-ups. We did things. The video essays we didn't even plug. We did a lot of these this year. So hopefully we can do more next year. So yeah, join us on Patreon. And thank you for listening as always. And we'll be back with a new episode in the next year. See ya.
Khandaan Podcast on the acting class.